Good morning, Jerry. How are you?
Hey, well, bruised up, I'm sure. I know our fans are disappointed, and let's get right to it. We did not play well at all with those turnovers, those constant really shoot ourselves in the foot, especially on our offensive continuity. And then again, just overall. So quite a disappointing night for Cowboy fans.
Jerry, you were pretty honest with us after the Carolina loss, and we're talking about maybe games on the schedule that you think that you should win more so than others. Do you feel the same way about Arizona?
Of course, yes, I do. I thought at home that we should, if you're going to say one, that you ought to come out and get in the win column. That should be it. And really very, very, very disappointing. And as much as anything, disappointing because we really, I thought, had a good game plan for them. I didn't anticipate them being as strong defensively as they were. It's difficult for us to move the ball on, but we had everything to do with that, with the mistakes we made. And everybody's always saying, well, isn't that what you're pro about, is going out there and not making those mistakes? And it sure is.
Jerry, you've talked about being disappointed and frustrated the last two games. Is it fair to also describe you as angry about it as well?
No. There's enough intensity here, really. You don't have to add just anger to it. I don't know where that feeling is. It's somewhere. I'm pretty frustrated right now with how we got here, my decision making relative to the things that go on. You know, the way we dial it up here, and there's no dodging, looking in the mirror. And so, candidly, as I was sitting there watching that game last night, I was going over, reviewing where we were and reviewing where we're going this morning. Now, I will say that it does create a lot of resolve for me, and if it's any fact, I have certainly been here before. And in terms of where do we go from here? What do we do this morning? What do we do this afternoon? How can we go forward? And there's some things that we have that were headed this way anyway, but we've got players that can help us that haven't been on the field. They can help us. We're going to make this trade that will help us. This is a guy that knows how to fill the gaps. You've heard me complain about not filling the gaps. So all of those things, really put your head down and address them. There's no quote running around the block here. You've got to meet it head on and address it and come out of here with a better team.
Jerry Jones right here on 105.3 The Fan. Jerry, you talk about the self-scouting, the self-evaluation. What do you think is something that maybe you or the front office maybe didn't have the right read on, misevaluated or miscalculated up to this point in time in the year?
I think I've erred over the last 3 years with the changing of defensive coordinators or defensive philosophy or the adjustments there. When I look back, if I see one thing that I had to do over again, I would have tried to not change out our coordinator every year over the last 3 years. Continuity. I know better. Continuity in football is important.
Jerry Jones joined us here at 105 to the Van. You mentioned continuity. Matt Eberflus is public enemy number one on social media during these games. What has he done to show you that he's the right guy for the DC job moving forward?
Well, the fortunate thing is that Matt Eberflus has coached here and had coached here for, I think it was 7 years, and he has evolved. He's a person that I know well, not that knowing somebody well is a criteria, and he's had a lot of experience. And you can only go so far here. You've got to, in football, you've got to have joint blame. No one person wins it, no one person loses it. And so he's had influence. He obviously is not the only one looking at the defense. Our head coach is looking at it. He's getting a lot of help out there. What you're seeing is certainly he is the key influence as the defensive coordinator. But I see a guy that's very pragmatic. He's got his eye on the ball. He knows the things in my mind that where we need to make adjustments and where we're not making adjustments, I think is the best way to say it. But the main thing is he's been in some hard times before relative to his team not playing well, and he's brought them out of the nosedive. That's the key thing.
Jerry, we asked Shotty about this on Friday, but if Shotty's going to be spending more time with the defensive coaches during the week and putting in, meeting time there, why shouldn't that be viewed as a lack of confidence in Matt Eberflus?
The head coach, by his very nature, should address where his team needs him the most as the overall head coach. Now, Shotty's also the offensive coordinator and calls the plays. Although we have a top offensive coordinator that's outstanding, that works with Shotty, giving him a chance to cover both areas. This is not uncommon. And, we all should realize that that a very capable individual can, with a certain boundary, can do more than one or two things. It amazes me that people would say, well, because you're thinking about this, you're not thinking about that. That's not the way it works. That's just not it. Football is football. Football is football on both sides, all three sides of the ball. Football has its uniqueness when it gets down to when offensive lineman plays, defensive lineman plays. These guys are professional. They've been there. They've had their proverbial butts kicked hard. All of them have. They know how to go out here this morning and grind it and go to work, and they know how to operate when they don't feel like operating because they've disappointed themselves. Everybody will have a part and does have a part of why we're having this conversation.
Jerry, the offense was cooking for a while. Dak was playing as elite as it gets. What has happened the last couple of weeks with this offense?
Turnovers, shooting yourself in the foot, inopportune timing on penalties, and mistakes. Pure and simple. And it'll just eat the substance right out from under you as your self-inflicted wounds. Eliminate those, and you've got a good chance to not make as dramatic a play, but you've got a good chance to improve your team. And we talk about adding personnel, yes, but personnel that makes mistakes can be can be even more so the reason you're not having success. But you talk about complementary football. This was not complementary football that we saw out there. Can we play it? Yes, we can. But the key thing is that I'm confident that we have, as we sit right here, we have a staff that can address, improve. We have the possibility to get better on personnel. We have personnel that hadn't played that's going to be playing. We've, of course, just made this trade, and we're looking at a couple others.
Jerry, what did you guys like about Logan Wilson?
His ability to see it. Some people would think about it in a way of instincts, but he can read a key. A key would be the type of thing when, there's a lot going on in there, and I'm not going to be trite, but some guys have the ability to see a certain key and at the same time take a step up in the hole. He knows how to get in the gaps. Right now, he would remind you of, I really don't know who to say his play style is. He's got a lot of length. Leighton, he probably has a little bit of that when you watch him play. But the main thing is, for what we need right now, he can come in immediately and help us at linebacker.
Jerry Jones right here on the Fan. Jerry, are the other trades consummated and done or still in the works?
Well, they're in the works, but obviously with a 3 o'clock deadline, 4 o'clock New York, they're in the works, and they better be in the works, or you're going to miss this train.
Jerry, the numbers show you all have like less than a 10% chance of making the playoffs. What is it about the team that shows you that you want to make moves right now and give up assets for players?
Well, because you make a move right now that you, with that 10%, you would agree. You want to do everything within the reason to get better, and everybody expects that. I expect it too. This is one of those. We're going to up seventh round in 27 and 26, I think 27. 26, seventh rounder, and I'm trying to get my date right here. that's not a meaningful move relative to giving up the future. Yet it's a very smart thing to do to get this kind of player in here right now. We've got old Shan on the way here at the same linebacker type position. We need help there. This will help.
Jerry, without getting too specific, because we know you can't, what else are you guys trying to target, or what are some of the things in your trade criteria that has to fit for you guys to make a move?
Okay, now this is I'm afraid I'm going to have to actually just defer, because I can't discuss this without tipping my hand. It'll be out immediately, and it will give our competition an idea of exactly what we're looking at, and they know enough to know that almost anything that comes out of my mouth the next minute or so regarding specifics would identify the players that we're working on.
Were you surprised that nothing got out yesterday after you said it to Stephen A. and Michael Irvin until it came out this morning?
Not at all. Not at all. Unless I was ready to say more, I had generally at that particular time, I gave the information that we were involved. As you see, we were. But we don't have any. You don't have anything done until the NFL, until both teams have into the league an approved meeting of the minds, and the league has to decide that. And that wasn't done until opening of business today.
Jerry, the skeptic is saying, okay, you're trading for a guy, even though we like the value of a seventh rounder and anything to try to help the defense, but you're trading for someone who lost playing time in Cincinnati. What's your counter back to that?
Well, we have a need here. We're addressing a direct need, and his skill set is addressing a need that we don't want to wait to get by having our players that we do have evolve into that skill level. And so it's a fair compensation for what we're trying to do. That's what you want in a trade right here. This has certainly long term for me. Could he have a role here for the next few years? Absolutely.
Jerry, Mozzie Smith. Jerry, Mozzie Smith. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
no, you go ahead.
Jerry, Mozzie Smith was inactive on Sunday. Do you think there's still an opportunity for him to turn things around and become the player that you guys thought he could be when you drafted him?
Yeah, I'm reminded of the great coach Tom Landry, and he said, "Don't ever give up on a defensive lineman." And he specifically was talking about a defensive lineman until you've seen a good 3 years. They'll surprise you, and they'll come around late, and they're hard to find.
Jerry, in the offseason, you had mentioned you were talking about, I think, waiting on the Micah deal, and you had mentioned that, you were sometimes jumped the gun early, and you mentioned Diggs and Steele, that you may have signed them a bit too early. Do you think Deron Bland is somebody that maybe you look back now and say maybe we jumped the gun here too?
100% no. Boy, I like what he does. I like it. I've liked some things that he's done. I'm glad we've got him.
Jerry Jones right here on 105.3 The Fan. So, Jerry, you've remained consistent in saying that these games in the postgame are not going to dictate how you act during your trades. It's not going to have an impact. Do you still feel that way this morning after the Cardinal game?
I do, as to at least two of the situations we're looking at as far as if there's any business to be done relative to trading new player. I feel exactly the same way. There's some things, a thing, for instance, that we could do that would not only help today but help the future. Yes, there is.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear you say it. That was kind of the Cowboy fan worry for next year, the year after, is not sacrificing maybe too much for a team that has a gauntlet ahead of them at 3-5-1. But it sounds like you're weighing both.
I am. Let me just add this up for logic for you. I don't have time, personally, to have a bad time. It's not on my schedule. And so I have a natural urgency because of my age. And so my tomorrows, the immediate tomorrow, are a big thing to me. On the other hand, one of the reasons that we made the decision with our big trade before the year started is because I didn't want to saddle the club with that kind of physical, financial responsibility. So it's still there. But the immediacy, the rest of this season, after the bye, that game, all of that is more acute to me than at any time in my life. So I'm into now, but I also have enough discipline not to get in trouble for years to come, which you can do in today's management of caps.
Jerry, you mentioned you ain't got time for a bad time. You brought up your age, and that's in part some of the reasons for these moves. Is that, looking at it that way, is that truly in the best interest of the franchise?
Absolutely. I'm satisfied that I can make good decisions. I've made some bad decisions, obviously being tried. I am supremely responsible for where we are right now. There's no question about that. I accept that. That doesn't deter me from wanting to get it done and get it done now this year. It's very important to our future, very important right now that we come out and these next ball games that we play, we are as good as we possibly could be. That's motivational. That's motivational to the players. That's motivational to the fans. I know that. I've been doing this, I've been in this game for almost 60 years. So I think that that's good for the team.
Jerry, you've talked a lot about the defensive issues being an issue of execution, and you guys just need to execute better. When the issues have become so persistent, does that cause you to say that this may be more about their ability than just the simple execution?
No, because it's always both. And that's not a tried answer, but you can deal with extraordinary ability. It could be one that is really, you didn't mention, and that's availability for a player. And that can bite you. It bites teams every day, and it's bitten us, but you're supposed to be able to overcome it. So ability, availability, and then execution. And by the way, the attitude that you bring when you do execute, the attitude that you do it with is important. This is a very physical game. It has to be done with a lot of aggression, controlled aggression, and you got to be smart while you're out there. That's a hard bill to follow, but that's why people get the big bucks.
Jerry, what type of run is this going to take at 3-5-1, and what many think is the toughest part of the schedule coming up? What type of run is this going to take to make the playoffs?
Well, one that they'll write a book about if we could do it.
Or Netflix special.
But seriously, it will take a very impressive turnaround. But isn't that a big part of why we watch sports? Is to see people, teams handle adversity, get up, and come again, and then end up having overcome a lot of odds. Is this not why we're hooked on this thing called sport?
Yes, it is. Jerry Jones here on The Fan. Last one. Paint a picture for our audience, Jerry, of how the rest of your day is going to go. Are you sitting in the office? You just have the cell phone? How do you monitor activity?
Well, you're on the phone. You are the activity, and I've been doing it since about 5 this morning. So this is, and it should be, this is D-Day. Got to have these decisions we make that involve third parties. You got to have them made and in and agreed to by a close of business in New York. So it's going pretty fast and furious. It went on a lot after the game last night. That's what we do.
Do you think? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, please go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just asking, do you have a strong feeling for the fans listening that something else will probably get done today?
I don't want to go there. I just don't want to go. How where I am makes a difference to some other people.
Jerry, thank you so much.
Okay, guys.
Thank you so much for making the time. We appreciate it.
Okay, have a good day. Bye-bye.
Jerry Jones on Trade Deadline Day, brought to you by your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.